and they're in my bag. But it's
the first scene you'll lose it.
Okay, no, because it's I mean, I'm sure I will, and I'm looking forward to. I might even publish a video of myself wanking off.
Will you?
You know what? Sure.
Yeah. And then we'll like embed that in the Raging Stallion blog, because I run the Raging Stallion blog.
Okay, cool.
Get each other's back.
I actually did whip my dick out finally on my blog.
No, I think we saw
I showed off the PA.
Yeah, we liked that.
And it was funny because I did that on a complete whim, and my husband comes home and says something about, "Did you put your penis on the internet?"
Do it again. Do it all the time. I think your hits will go up like 3.
All right.
Yeah, I watched that more than once.
Did you really?
I watched it.
Did you self-pleasure while?
I had it.
You don't have to answer that. It's
I had tingling in my nether regions.
All right, cool. No, that's okay. You don't have to answer that, because I'm just, okay, I'm a bit of an ego man. Look, I'm the guy who's always behind the camera, and ain't no one ever jerking off to me. So that's.
But they do, and they would. So do it more often.
But I was in one scene for Jake Cruz, but I left my clothes on the whole time. But I blew a guy. So that was it.
Yeah.
See, we have to do it all.
Start somewhere.
Yeah. No, that's it. Well, hey, sometimes a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Yep. Cool. We call those assisted solos.
We do.
Assisted solos.
Or screen tests.
Yeah.
Now, we touched on this earlier about the difference between the online and the DVD world. And the DVD world is trying to make that transition into an online thing, and they're having a lot of trouble doing it.
Yeah.
And what do you think is going to have to change, or do you think it's just like, do you think that something's going to change, or it's just
things are changing, whether people are ready for it or not, and how it's handled is to be determined. We'll see. But what we're trying to do is, since we're sort of starting our company in the middle of this kind of conversion, we're trying to make our content sort of change with the times. I think if any of the major studios are having trouble, it's because their content is the same themes that they've been running perhaps for several years, and they have a perspective on the business that reaches back, and it goes back to the 90s sometimes, and some of the younger guys, if we're going to truly attract a younger fan base, and if the younger fan base is more geared toward the internet, it isn't just about making your same old content available on the internet. It's about somehow finding a way to make that content fresh and exciting to younger members so that they will buy. I'm not totally sold on the idea that the DVD market is all about old guys, over 50. I think it's that way because maybe the content appeals to them. So we have to make our content fresher, I think, and we're trying to explore ways of doing that.
I mean, we think about I've only been in this business for about a year and a half, but I thought about myself as a consumer, what I was doing, surfing the internet and finding things and looking at free porn and watching previews and that kind of excitement about the next available thing, and how do you bring that energy and excitement into something that's on an online content or for a DVD? Like, how do you bring that urgency and that kind of ADD vibe to it?
Yeah.
Because
the impulse purchase.
It may come
that's
down
it.
to the edit too. It may, and to the reality porn is also very popular right now. And I think that even though I love making big studio movies, I think one area where maybe the younger market's maybe not into the big studio productions is that maybe the pace of big studio productions, because you have to light a certain way and you have to stop and go, that maybe there's an urgency and immediacy that's lacking, that in reality porn, because you don't have to stop and you don't have to light and you're not doing so much with the production values of things, you can get that raw energy and that connection and that chemistry. So is there a way to bring that freshness and that energy that happens in Pro-Am and in Gonzo and all that stuff into a big studio production? And I think maybe that might be one way.
That's a challenge.
Okay. Of getting younger guys' attention. Also, faster, quicker edits.
Yeah.
Because
short attention span theater.
Try having a conversation with somebody under 30 these days. If you have a taste for those kind of men, it's like you have to be able to do 3 things at once and minimize the importance of each of those things. Have a conversation, Twitter, and order a cocktail at the same time.
I mean, here's my film snob moment. moment is that, you know, I love Joe Gage movies, but I find that his movies are more like the Kubrick stuff, where like the editing is really slow
and
really drawn out and savoring every frame.
Right.
And my stuff, as much as I'm not a huge fan of Baz Luhrmann movies, I find that my stuff tends to be more about splashes of color and lots of light and lots of really fast editing and wild angles and stuff like that. So
and mine too.
yeah,
and
I noticed that in yours. Yeah, exactly.
We're also learning. We're learning our craft too, so it's going to be interesting to see how we evolve and what our personal styles are too. Right now, I don't think we're necessarily putting that out. We're putting out what we think is good.
We're just now starting to get our little flavor together, you know, because we're in the first year.
Yeah.
You know, even though I've been directing for longer and I've been performing for even longer, I do feel like it takes some time for you to really develop your voice and have that evolve. So it's going to be interesting to see where we take it from here.
It's going to be exciting.
Things are changing, whether we like it or not.
Listen,
so
you know what?
Change with the time.
Let's make a pact. We're all going to come back here next year and talk about where we are now.
How about we just all come?
Okay, I'm down with that.
Let's go.
All right, cool.